Starting to the bottom left of the map, we have the Caspar Zerg player, 1 win and 2 losses in the group. He is
SK Telecom T1 Su.
Su needs to win, not only for himself, but also for Byun, because if he loses to Byun, then Sniper will advance to Code S today. To the top left, we have Su's opponent, a Prime player, a Terran player. It is
Byun Prime.
Having a rough time in the group so far. Wants to see if he can get himself a 3rd place spot.
And his match and decides if Sniper is the 2nd player to advance to Code S today. Flying is already a Code S player. He proved it with a 3-0 against tough opponents that he can compete in Code S, that this is the place for him to be, not Code A. And Byun, if he wins here, then Sniper will be the 2nd. If Su, on the other hand, takes it, then there's still a chance for a tiebreaker.
Yeah. We have a lot of experience with tiebreakers from yesterday. I wouldn't make the same mistakes I did yesterday with how the tiebreaker resets. I learned a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
I also learned a lot about ghosts in Terran vs. Zerg. Definitely watched that match that we talked about earlier, Noblesse versus Boom Boom on Akalon Flats.
Just to give you a little bit of idea what has to happen to have a tiebreaker here. Su winning against Byun would be the first thing that has to happen, and then Byun has to take the game against Flying. If that happens, then Sniper, Byun and Su are tied for 2nd place. We would have a tiebreaker to determine who exactly would get into Code S and who would get 3rd place today.
Yep. This scenario is unlikely, but it is possible. 3 parts have to be satisfied. Byun goes 1 Rex expand.
Yeah, 1 Rex expand here for him, no gas just yet. And bottom left we have of course the expansion for Su nearly completed. Scouting is good for Byun. He sees his opponent at the 1st position that he sends his SCV to. Gets all the information that he needs, has no problem getting into the main base, not like there are Zerglings or a Queen already there.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just important for Byun to know, are you taking gas early or not? How much care do I have to take into defending my bases? He goes double gas before 3rd command center. And maybe he was considering going for a fast 3rd command center if he sees Su is at cross spawns, but he's very lucky to find where Su is right away.
By the way, just to go back to the ranking situation, we talked a little bit about Byun's hopes to get 3rd place and Sniper actually finishing 2nd and going to Code S if Byun wins. If Byun wins, it would also secure him the 3rd place. I think I didn't point that out earlier. So just to make sure that you guys are very well aware that if Byun takes this game, that this group is definitely going to be over.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can take it. His command center finishes up here. 2 queens coming out, going up to 4. This is just the standard. We have not seen very much change in Zerg versus Terran play on Wings of Liberty for the past few months, and yeah, the Infestor was changed, so Mutalisk became a little bit more popular, but as far as openings go, the Queen patch is now ancient, and people have figured out how to add those Queens in on a big map like Whirlwind, which is also starting to get a bit of age.
Whirlwind is one of those maps where it's a little bit difficult to make a choice as a Zerg player in the late game. You always want to go into a Broodlord composition, but you are struggling with the size of the map. It's so big that Broodlords are not necessarily the best option, just because it's very difficult to keep them alive and to maneuver them across the map. There's just so much that can happen, and a Terran player that is dropping, for example, as a mobile Bioforce can give you a lot of problems. So a few Zergs, actually a lot of Zergs, will decide to go into Ultralisks. Usually not the best option against the Terran, but if you can work with good fungals, with a few infestors to support them, then Ultralisk, especially in a map of this size, can be very deadly.
Yeah, and some things we've also seen are Zerg players who go for heavy Mutalisk Baneling attacks at the 3rd, try to get so ahead that they never have to go out of Muse, they just keep attacking with Muse and Banelings until eventually the Terran doesn't have the production anymore and just rolls over and dies. That's something we've seen on this map a few times as well. The 3rd base is so open here.
Yeah. It can be a very dangerous game to play though. If the Terran is able to turtle on those 3 bases, gets 3-3 up, has the Medivac support, doesn't take too many hits, then he can later on overwhelm you. This is something that Nestea had several times happening on this map. Recently, of course, against Alive in these up and downs, but also against Byun, a player that we have in this group.
Yeah. Byun is going to go Banshees again. This is something that really Holt was doing about 9 months ago, and even almost longer than that now. And it was something that fell out of style. People are starting to use it again in Wings of Liberty. I don't know how good it really is. It worked out last game.
It's just a thing of position. He knows that his opponent is starting very close to him, especially the natural is very close to Byun's main base. I feel with a cross spawn position, this is something that Byun would have never done.
I really like that he doesn't go Cloak, because Cloak usually doesn't work out as far as doing damage. You do damage whether you have Cloak or not, because your opponent's going to have Lair by the time you get there, especially on a map like this, even if you're at low spawns. He fakes the Cloak though, shows Caduceus Reactor, and this is going to make Su think that he needs to get Spores for sure. Spores are going to be helpful regardless, but he doesn't absolutely need them.
He sees the first Banshee and the Spore Crawler is now being built. We also have an extra Queen being completed, so he can definitely have a bit of anti-air that helps him. With one Overseer here is not going to have any difficulties against potential Cloak, so this is completely fine for him.
A Ling run by here though is a bit problematic. Nice depot lift by Byun. He will clean this up. It could have been worse for him.
Yeah, it could be very much worse. So many Protoss players, Terran players, struggle a little bit with the Zerglings running into their main base because they don't lift the depots in time. Not so Byun, he is ready.
Byun makes a funny mistake with his starport, by the way. He had a reactor available, but starts another one. Unless he's just trying to make it for one of his barracks, doesn't want Medivacs out right now. It's also possible, but I think getting Medivacs out at this time could be useful.
Should always be a priority, but here we have the Hellion run by, and it's already doing a significant amount of damage, roasting the drones and the Zerglings.
Yeah, he has killed a lot of units. In total, 9 workers killed, and
the additional Zerglings.
Yeah, killing the Lings is a problem because of the larva, obviously, so if you kill drones and Lings, that's exactly what you want a Hellion to be for. That's the two things Hellions want to kill.
The 9 drones alone are definitely enough to make this worth as well.
It really makes up for the fact that he... weird. But it makes up for the fact that he did not do very much damage to this Banshee at all.
The Spire is now done, and now we have this Ling Muta Baneling composition once again on Whirlwind, this time for Su. It's the style that he is really confident in. Didn't start any Mutalists just yet. He doesn't have a lot of minerals because he had to go into additional Zerglings.
Yeah. He forces a lift with those additional Zerglings. Gets these 3 SCVs as well. This is annoying for Byun. He really needs to get that base landed, but he has his upgrades coming out. Not too behind Su. And Su has the Baneling Nest going up. As soon as that Baneling Nest finishes, if he starts Baneling speed, we'll know that he's going into this Baneling Muta composition that he can use if he chooses to attack the 3rd. He has the creep spread very far. His creep is very thick as well.
Yeah. It's really important for Byun that he immediately started +2/+2 when the first set of upgrades was done. Su was already ahead, so that definitely gives Byun now at least the chance to catch up. If Su misses the hive tech, and that's something that usually happens if you go for this build, you just stick it out with +2/+2. This is where you are the most dangerous, as soon as the second set of upgrades is completed. Usually the transition into hive follows a little bit later, if you are not able to take your opponent down in the late mid game.
Byun does have siege tanks on the way, and as far as upgrade for that goes, he does have it as well, but he doesn't have a wall at his base. A lot of players skip the wall on this map initially because there's 2 entrances, so if you have a wall on one side, the Zerglings could just run around the other side.
4th base being built for Su. He needs to win here, guys. If Byun takes this game, he's 3rd place in the group, and Sniper will advance together with Flying. So this is the only shot that Su actually has to get into Code S today, or at least secure himself a 3rd position for the wildcard group.
Byun is really on the edge of things here with no wall. He's only got 1 tank. It's over on the side. If Baneling speed finishes and Su commits to an attack, I feel Byun is very vulnerable here. But as time goes on, he will have more tanks. Siege mode, of course, is already ready.
He also doesn't have the combat shield just yet, and without the combat shield, those Banelings are very deadly.
Yeah, and it's far away from being complete. It's not even halfway ready.
15 are being morphed. 32, oh wow, and +2/+2 is just finishing. Look how this lines up. This is actually amazing for Su. This attack is going to be deadly.
It is. Byun is in a lot of trouble here. He doesn't even necessarily realize it. Now he knows.
He's trying to set up a wall with additional barracks, but it's already too late.
Too late. Here come the Banelings coming from behind. The Lings are already cleaning up the siege tanks.
No combat shield. He doesn't have combat shield. +2/+2 is not done yet.
Perfect timing for Su here.
It's the best timing that he could ever hit. He's 60 supply ahead and still roaming in with all those all those banelings trying to take this game. The missile turret helps out against the Mutalisk, but still there are banelings everywhere.
Ling follow-up is going to be too much here. He doesn't have enough units. Scans going down here, but this is the end of Byun.
Yeah,
he's not going to get anything here.
No, he's down to 50 supply. GG. The combat shield was not there. +2/+2 was missing.
Perfect timing. I'm sure he checked the upgrades. He saw that he had an opportunity here. He knew that the Marines didn't have combat shields. And Byun not only does not get into Code S, but will find himself not in a possible potential wildcard group.
Yes, he is now in Code A. There's no chance for him to advance anymore. This is it for him. That was his only chance, the match against Su, and he loses it on Whirlwind. A nice timing with Ling Muta Baneling on +2/+2 before Byun hacked his combat shield. Devastating loss here for Byun. He is out. He is in Code A next season, but for the rest of the players in the group, except for Flying, of course, everything is still possible. Flying is already in Code S, but the rest of the players, Su, Sniper, and Byung, they could still advance today. We might have another situation like yesterday. We might have another tiebreaker.
It's entirely possible. Our next map is going to be Akalon Flats. I'm liking this map more and more.
I like it.
It's something that at first I didn't like it because of the watchtowers, but GOM altered it. So the watchtowers work out really nicely. They work in the early game, and then of course eventually disappear, so you don't have total control over the main walkways of the map with the watchtowers.
Byung against Flying is going to be our next game, but before we head into the match, we are having a 5-minute break, and apparently we don't have a break because it might be the last game of the day. So we will start the game right away, and therefore a Protoss versus Terran match. Here it's really important what Flying is going to do against Byung. If Flying takes the game, well, let me just confirm this, but yeah, if Flying takes the game, then we have the tiebreaker. Then suddenly we have the situation, nope. If Flying takes the game, then he, Su, will advance and Sniper takes the wildcard spot. If on the other hand, Byung is able to win this, then we suddenly have the tiebreaker situation between Byung, Sniper and Su. Then we go into the tiebreaker and everything starts anew. So everything hinges now on Flying's performance in his last game, and he's already qualified.
Yeah, he's already qualified. So this is something for him where the game doesn't matter necessarily. It's kind of up to him what type of build he wants to show us. He's been playing really well today. There's no real mistakes in his play. It's not like he's showing the best macro we've ever seen or really crazy late game. He's basically just choosing smart build orders for the maps he's playing on and throwing his opponents off.
He's fighting against Byung, and he's fighting for Su in this game. This is how he can put it, I feel. Flying versus Byung might be the last game of the day. Akalon Flats might be the last map that is ever to be played in the Mumtum studio in Wings of Liberty here at the GSL. But if Byung takes the match against Flying, then we are going into a tiebreaker. We're going to find out what happens in this game right now. Heading into the map here at the GSL Up Down Group E with Colin Wolf.